Hi everyone. I'm really not sure how to go about filming this vlog, because this vlog is just terrible, and it's really terrible, and it's going to be quite hard. So I'm just going to kind of rattle through and bring everyone up to speed. Now, obviously, probably from the title of this vlog, you're thinking, what? And to be fair, this was very much my my thinking too, because this has come as a bit of a shock to me, and very sadly on Monday the 16th of June 2025 I had to say goodbye to my lovely little Bonnie for the last time, as she was put to sleep. Okay, got through that bit just about. No, there we go. I'm not a crier, but this is something that, yeah, it's come as a shock, and I really didn't think it would actually come to this, but it has, and I'm currently sat in her field in which was her pen up until a few days ago, and I miss her a lot. So this is good. Yeah, this is going to be really hard, but I'm basically going to try and explain what happened. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Bonnie, I've had Bonnie since she was 10 months old, and I got her from the Animal Health Trust, which was a place, I can't really call it a charity. They tested drugs on ponies, and they basically were closing down. Who knows why? I think it was funding, to be fair. They were testing drugs on ponies, and in April 2020, there was a post on their Facebook page saying they were closing down. They had 30 Welsh ponies that they need to find homes for. Hello, guys. Hello. You're so small. Look how small you all are. Hi. Oh my God. I don't know which one I'm having. Who is it? Is it you or you? I know it's not any of you. And they're all under a year old, very, very young, who can help. And I thought, oh, that's a great idea, because I needed a companion for Lara at the time. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, not having had like a baby horse before. But I thought, well, she's only small and Lara needs a companion, and it would be quite a nice project. So off I went to, it was in Newmarket actually, went off to Newmarket, arrived, and there was probably 10 ponies in this little corral. And I remember I spotted her basically straight away, thinking, oh, I hope it's this one that I've got, because we kind of put our names down for some, and I saw her online. I thought, oh, she looks really sweet. And her name was not Bonnie, it was Sweetie, because her passport name was Kathleen Sweetie. But I was like, well, I can't call her Sweetie, but I thought Bonbon is a type of sweet, so Bonnie it is. Oh, so you can go in there without being mauled. That's good.
Oh, yeah. It's only in the field if you take medicine that you can.
Yeah. Well done. Anyway, they herded her into a sheep, what they herd like sheep into, like a sheep stock, and they sedated her, so they jabbed her. She had had no human contact at all, apart from that, being herded into little corrals and like the sheep crush thing, and always she'd had like courses of drugs before, but never handled by humans. So she was pretty wild, to be fair. But they sedated her and they actually picked her up and they put her on my trailer. And then when we got home on the other side, I was reminded that actually she was indeed a bit of a wild pony. And because the sedation had worn off, and then at that point, that was the start of months of handling. And I had a really lovely lady, Catherine, who helped me with these beginning stages, because I didn't really know that much about like the processes of getting them used to like the head collar and stuff. And she was super, super helpful, and she gave Bonnie and me the great basis of our kind of training initially. And then Bonnie just turned into an absolute superstar, like so sweet, so lovely. And I dragged her around many places. We went into the Fairfax and Favour office one Vlogmas Bonnie was like packing customer orders, so she was actually in the building, and she was just she'd just say yes to everything. She wouldn't question it. We had such a nice bond that it was just really easy to do stuff with her. Obviously only in hand, because one, she was 11 hands, little Welshie, and two, she was only a baby. And then fast forward to December 2022, I think it was. So at this time, Bonnie was three. She was three, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 3. Not really good at math. And I noticed she had some kind of weird, like what I thought was just like an abscess on her jawline. And I was actually at London International, and I came back and I remember thinking, oh dear, because this abscess had burst and it was disgusting and it was absolutely terrible. But I thought, well, we'll get the vet out. The vet can drain it and we'll kind of go from there. Anyway, so the vet did come out and they tried to drain it, but it wouldn't drain. That's because it wasn't an abscess. It wasn't an abscess. It was actually her bone, because her tooth, because they weren't fully formed properly. And I've done a vlog about this before when I had said tooth out eventually. It was basically growing down and made this big kind of calcified mass of just bone round on her bottom jaw. So she had antibiotics because she had this big like hole in her face. I mean, I can show you some pictures if you like, but I will warn you, if you're squeamish, I probably would skip it because they're not very nice. But we had antibiotics, she was on painkillers, and actually she was a very, very good patient considering the just crater in her face. And the vet was like, we'll revisit in a couple of months and see how we're getting on and see if, just kind of reassess the situation. So I didn't have much bother with that until probably a year or so down the line, when I noticed the lump starting to get bigger again. And basically what we discovered is that Bonnie actually, where the teeth were not forming properly, she had developed it was the tooth root, which was growing weirdly, had some like gnarly infection in it. And the only way to sort this out and to also see what was happening in this, because the growth, the like bony lump hadn't gone. So the only way was to take the tooth out at obviously great expense, because her teeth weren't actually covered on the insurance after that first mishap, which is great. Love insurance companies, but anyway, lessons learned from that. The trick is a lifetime policy, which is now what I've got with the horses. It does help. Anyway, digressing. So we took the tooth out and I thought, well, great, that's going to be the end of the problems. And for a brief time, that was the end of the problems, and she carried on her merry way. And I have to say, throughout all of this, Bonnie just remained very happy. Like, you wouldn't know unless you knew to like look, you wouldn't know that she had this thing, like this kind of weird looking growth on her face. And you wouldn't know that she was in any pain because she was happily eating. You know, there was no food dropping out the mouth. But then, yeah, so I thought that obviously the tooth, the tooth that had gone, there's obviously no problem there anymore, and we can kind of carry on as normal. And my plan was to always eventually get a bridle on her, maybe find a really small person to come and ride her baby. But I was very happy just her being a companion to Lara and Zach, who are behind me. Are you going to come into shot? Probably not. Oh, no, there they are. They don't care. Yeah, so that was, you know, the ideal plan eventually, but I just wanted to make sure that her teeth were fine and she was happy in herself before, you know, sticking a bridle on her and expecting her to be happy. Anyway, fast forward, and she's still, well, she was starting to show signs that she wasn't quite comfortable anymore. And there was also, on the other side of her mouth, there was a similar looking lump starting to form. And I was thinking, oh no, this is absolute disaster. But we had, whoa, Zach, oh my God, you made me jump. You made me jump, it's just me. Don't do anything silly, okay? I know, good boy, it's a camera. Just, you can, thank you. Ooh, I don't quite trust you. You are a gentle giant, but can you go over there? Good boy, come on. Go on. Come on, Zach. Good boy, well done. You've literally made me lose my train of thought. Yeah, you have. You completely have. Oh yeah, lump on the other side. So we obviously, during all of this processes, we'd had x-rays and everything, and the vet couldn't really confirm exactly what was going on, but knew that the problems, what you're making all the flies come around me now, Zach, that the problem was not on the other side yet, because she said that was very much superficial, but the same side that we'd had the tooth taken out of, the tooth behind the tooth, the gap, was starting to go the same way, what with the infection and everything. You're very sweet. I know, you're a very sweet boy. So I thought, well, that's not good. So I spoke to the vet. I said, vet, what would you suggest? She was like, well, I think we need to see if we can get, it might just be like a mild infection with the gap. So let's get some antibiotics and kind of monitor it, and some kind of pain, what's the word that I'm looking for? Oh, these flies. Right, Zach, you're going to have to go away because the flies are too much. Come on, good boy. Good boy. Well done. It's just not working, is it? He's just going to stand there. Stupid boy. Some pain management, and we'll see how we go. Anyway, so months kind of rattled on, and got to a point where she was starting to head shake more. She was standing with her head really low. She didn't want her head collar on. She didn't want her fly mask on. And I thought, this pony is in pain. She is in pain. So I made the decision at that point to get the vet out again and to see if they could suggest, you know, what the next step would be. And the answer, actually, I was quite surprised by, because I thought there would be a solution, but there wasn't. Basically, they had said that with tests, the infection was so deep rooted down into like the bony lump and like the whole of the lower mandible, that you can't, the only way to get rid of that would be to remove it, like take the chunk out. But you can't do that with their jaw, because it was literally her whole lower mandible was just in a state, and the other side was going the same way. And that, my friends, is the result of inbreeding, basically, because, you know, she was a poor little Welsh pony that didn't probably, you know, was the result of some kind of inbreeding along the way. And her skull could not accommodate her teeth, and we really paid the price. And so when the vet said to me, she's not comfortable, but there's really no other option, that really did hit hard. She said if it was like a splint bone, like on the leg, an infected splint bone, you could remove the splint and kind of carry on your merry way. But as I said, you can't do that with the entire jaw. So, I had that news on the Thursday, and then she was booked in on the Monday. Thank you, Zach. Headbutt there. But I had some really lovely last few days with her, and she got to come out in the big paddock, and I'd been doing so well with her weight, but the last 2 days I was like, you know, screw it, you can go out and you can be with the others and just love life. And oh yeah, she loved life. It was really lovely seeing her with these two, just being part of the gang. And I think she really appreciated it, and she grew literally overnight from like a nice slim pony to literally obese. She did have 0 signs of laminitis, and I was like, wow, I'm pretty impressed, because she was big. I think most of it was bloat, but can't say that she didn't enjoy her last 2 days. I think she really had a lovely time, and I had a photo shoot with her on Sunday with Caitlin, who took some really lovely shots of her. And I've got memories now to cherish. So I'm really, really grateful for Caitlin for coming out. Literally, I messaged her in the morning, and luckily she was free. And I'm very, very grateful for those memories that I had with her for the last time. But yeah, it really, really sucks, because I had that pony from 10 months old to 6 years old, and 6 is just so young, and that's what really is just devastating. Because you know, when you've got an older horse and you kind of think, oh yes, they've had a good life, their time is come, blah blah blah, but obviously Bonnie just still had a whole life ahead. But there was absolutely 0 quality of life with the absolute state that her poor skull was in. And I could have taken all the teeth out, and I'm sure there would have probably been a problem. It's just the way it is. So I have a body-shaped hole in my heart, and these two do as well. And actually it was very sad, because I put Lara and Zach back out afterwards, because I brought them all in the morning, and then the deed was done in 10:30 on Monday, and then put these two back out, and Lara just cantered round and around cooling, which was really odd, because she hadn't really showed much affection for her, and I thought she was just happy with Zach. But you know, she's been friends with her for 5 years, so that was really hard to watch. I have left it obviously a couple of days, few days to kind of compose myself, because there's nothing worse than me just sobbing on camera. But it's been hard. It's been very rubbish, to say the least. But I do have I kept a little bit of her mane and tail, and I've got plans for a really nice ring which I've already designed, which is really lovely, and I'm looking forward to showing you when I finally get around to ordering it. But it's really special. There was also an option to have, you can have crushed tooth in like one of the designs, and I thought, I don't really want her tooth because that is literally just such a stark reminder of her passing, and I thought no, so we're gonna have her hair. I do have the tooth, as you saw in another vlog, the tooth of doom. I hate that tooth so much. It sucks, but then I also don't want to throw it away. It's like that catch-22. Anyway, you've heard enough of me. I'm actually really impressed that I got through this without making an absolute fool of myself. But I'm really gutted. I loved that pony so much, and she taught me so much on just like the joy of just being with your horse or pony. Like, you know, because I couldn't ride her. I just loved grooming her, teaching her tricks. She used to reverse on command. She used to paw the ground. She was such a quick learner. And I never had any issues with her loading. She'd follow me everywhere. You know, she was just the best. She was just the best pony. You probably miss her as well, don't you, Zach? Hey, you're literally covering me in flies. I'm sorry if all you can hear is buzz, buzz, buzz. It's because Zach is just using me as a fly repellent, aren't you? Hey, silly. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with some of my favourite memories of Bonnie. Going back to 2020, my little COVID pony, when I very first brought her home, because I think it's nice to remember kind of how far she came. And although she wasn't a ridden pony winning medals and everything, you know, we still went showing. It wasn't very good, but we still went out, had a good time. We did some fun things, and she was just a happy pony who loved her life, and I loved being in her life. So, yeah. Anyway, that's that really.
What a clever girl! Yay!
You like your new pony?
You're right about the gloves, Catherine.
This is what the audience wants, drama.
You can do another neigh. Yes, right on cue. Good girl, hello. Hello. Right, so here she is, little Bonnie. But this is the first time she's been away from her, do not gallop at me, from her brothers and sisters. So, and pony friends, quite sad. She'll be all right. So I'll practice my natural horsemanship now. Helping with the poo picking. Are you? Are you helping? It's like, no, that's your job actually. I've got this stick. Oh my God, she's like a dog. She's just got a stick. Look at her. What are you doing? Oh. What have you got, Bond? That is a miracle. She's just seen Felix over there. pony. It's always sleeping. You're always sleeping. Yeah, you are. Oh, here come the stretches. Ready for the stretch? Oh, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. Look how adorable that is. Yes, I know it should be on her crest and it's not, but I think for a first shot at a wibbly pony. Now I'm gonna try. Good girl, Bonds. And look at those little ringlets. Good girl, Bonnie, you're being so good. Oh my God, do I plait this? No, I think I can get away with it. She's a native breed, aren't you? Good girl. Also, she's not tied up. I've realised that if I do that, she kind of thinks it kind of works quite well. Touch wood. Good girl. Good girl. Clever girl. It's nice in here. Clever girl, Bonnie Bon. She's literally just having a sniff, isn't she? It's amazing. Good girl. Such a good girl. See? Water means treats. Well done. It looks a bit different, Mom. And look at her standing so perfectly in line. It's like... This is so easy, Mom. What are you talking about? Grumpy face. That's a grumpy face. You did so well. Oh no, 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 no. Holy moly. What am I going to do? No. No. Oh. Oh. Putting my gloves on for our trotter. Are you okay? Yours in front. Yes, is that something? Bonnie, what are you doing? Look how fat you are. You dropped it over there. You dropped a bit. There's no more.